Hey campers, rise and shine, and don't forget your sunblock, because it's gonna be a scorcher out there today. The high today is 100 degrees, which is a lot cooler than it was yesterday, but not as hot as it's gonna be tomorrow. Blah 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 blah.
Oh no. Not this shit again. Here's your damn Rants show, folks.
Dirty fuck!
Greetings, and welcome to yet another episode of Film Rants. Hey, at least it's not one of those awful Tobuscus loop videos that go on for 10 hours. I'm your host, E. Adam Thomas, and tonight we're looking at Edge of Tomorrow, starring Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt. In short, Cruise plays an officer who is the public relations face of the U.S. military, then is unceremoniously thrust into combat himself with no training or experience. On his first mission, he's killed within minutes and wakes up 2 days earlier on the same pile of duffel bags he woke up on, 2 days earlier. It becomes quickly obvious that he is caught in what Time Lords call a chronic hysteresis, doomed to relive the same day of hell over and over and over again. As it goes along, his skills increase and he becomes pivotal in the war against an invading alien race capable of manipulating time. Now, frankly, I was under the impression that these types of storylines were under the express copyright of the BBC by this point, and it would have made an awesome Doctor Who episode. But to be perfectly honest, I was pretty fucking shocked at how good this movie was. Look, I have long been on the bandwagon of Tom Cruise haters, and there is still just enough of his smarmy smugness in spots of this film. But as Major William Cage, he's good far more often than he is annoying. I still liked Bill Murray better in the role, but what are you going to do? His performance is greatly enhanced by Emily Blunt, who plays Sergeant Rita Vrataski, a heroic icon who had hundreds of kills in her first campaign alone, for reasons that will become apparent later in the film. Blunt is simultaneously tough and credible in the role, yet still gorgeous enough to lend credibility to the thin veil of sexual tension between their characters. Being an action film, director Doug Liman did an awesome job balancing the human tension with the beautifully shot combat sequences. The action is well-paced and beautifully shot, and the CGI effects are virtually seamless. The film also features Bill Paxton as Master Sergeant Farrell, who is equal parts likable and virtually murder-worthy. He's an asshole, but most sergeants are by the nature of their responsibilities. So to the casual, non-military layman, he's a dick and you want to see his head get kicked in. But for anyone with a little smattering of understanding about how military discipline works, he's perfect in the role. The one you should want to see eviscerated by a rusty melon baller is General Brigham, who is a complete and total fuckhead dick breath shitbag. I mean, other than the fact that Tom Cruise spends the first 10 minutes of the film being, Tom Cruise, there is honestly no credible reason for Brigham to fuck him over the way he does to begin with. Seriously, fuck him. Fuck him dead until his eyeballs explode with pure liquid failure. He's about as respectable as a sock puppet I once masturbated into. Actually, come to think of it, I have more respect for the sock puppet. That is my biggest problem with the film. There's really no rhyme or reason, as far as I can see, why Cage is put into this position in the first place. Fate? Destiny? Bad linguini? Who the fuck knows? It's the biggest plot hole in the film, and it bugged me all throughout. There are no scenes at the beginning of Cage being a dick other than a blackmail attempt when Brigham asks him to report to the front lines as a reporter or something. It's a bullshit retaliation for Cage's attitude. It's tantamount to first-degree murder, and we never get to see Brigham's comeuppance as a result. I mean, seriously, just one shot of the alien mimics butt-fucking them into oblivion would have been nice. The other problem I really have with this film is the fact that we don't really get a solid reason what the aliens want or what they're about. I mean, yes, they look all creepy and they seem to be pretty fucking vicious, but if you really want me to give a fuck about killing them, one way or the other, it would be nice if there was more than just rapidly moving violent squid bug things. I realize the majority of the film's target audience is a bunch of teenage dudes who like to see shit blow up, and could give less than two fucks about the character or story development. But come on, Hollywood, we're not all vapid adrenaline junkies. Stop treating us like we are. Oh, and one last thing. The whole like it never happened ending, look, I've seen enough Star Trek Voyager episodes to see that fuckstorm a mile away. It was not as bad in this case, but watch it, okay? I see another ending like this, and I'm gonna fucking lay some serious shit on your recycling asses. No sequels to this film, okay? I'm sick of that shit. The horse is dead, now put the fucking riding crop away. Alright, on to the rantometer here. I'll give Artistic a full 4, because this was a beautifully shot and put together film. Cool factor, a definite 5, because for all its problems, this was a really cool ass film. Originality gets a 3.5 because it was a fairly original plot, but some of the execution was a bit too predictable, especially for us Doctor Who fans. Suck factor, I have to give it a 2 because the beginning and ending of the film feel like cheap cop-outs. That gives the film a total of 10.5, which is not bad considering it's a Tom Cruise film. I should note that I have not read the book that the film is based on. Hiroshi Sakurazawa's, I honestly can't pronounce his name, but it's called All You Need Is Kill. So I can't address how close it was to the original source material. If you have read the book, and just let me know in the comments if they did a good job bringing the book to the screen. Next week, we'll tackle a film that was rumored and drooled over for years before it finally came out. The best, or possibly worst, cinematic titan matchup since King Kong vs. Godzilla, Ronnie Yu's 2003 film Freddy vs. Jason, starring Robert Englund, Jason Ritter, and Ken Kurtzinger. Watch for my fellow angry men, Angry Andy and Uncle Drew. And don't forget, you can suggest films for me to rant about on social media using the hashtag FilmRantsEAT. Oh, and Toby, has anybody ever actually watched the full 10-hour versions of any of your stuff? Seriously? Good night, folks.
Okay, campers, rise and shine, and don't forget your sunblock, because it's gonna be a scorcher out there today. The high today is 100 degrees, which is a lot cooler than it was yesterday, but not as hot as it's gonna be tomorrow. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh no. Not this shit again. Here's your damn rant show, folks.